What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome to another edition of Beyond Expressions. Welcome. A few housekeeping rules before we get started, yo. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit the share button so that your people can see it, and also click that notification bell so that when we drop new content, you will be the first one to know. So once again, welcome to Beyond Expressions, where we introduce the people to the owners and operators of Xpressions LLC with an X. So that way you guys can get to know a little bit about us, all right? Before we get started, if you haven't noticed something is missing or someone, let's see if we can figure that thing out. Who is it? Let's see. Am I missing my Derrick Henry Funko Pop? Maybe that's it? Nah, that ain't it. Maybe it's my PlayStation. No need for that. That's it. If you said my beautiful wife is missing, you are correct. You hit the nail on the head. Tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, this is a special episode of Beyond Expressions because it is the very first ever Beyond Expressions Husband Edition. Woo, 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 woo. Yes. All claps, applause. Yes, yes. If you saw the episode last week, it was the very first Beyond Expressions Wife's Edition, and my wife did a thing, y'all. So today, this afternoon, whenever you're watching it, you are the first one to get to know a little bit more about your boy, Myron Harris, one half of the whole of the Harrises. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in real quick on tonight's topic. The topic came to my mind: multiple hats. All right, so what do you mean by that? Multiple hats. As a teacher, we don't just teach, right? Our contract says we're teachers. You teach this subject, you teach that subject. Our goal is to stand up there and bring new information to the kids. But on the flip side, we also have to wear what I like to call it, as I already said, multiple hats, right? So I might be a teacher, then I have to take that hat off, and then I'll mess around and have to put on the hat of a medic, right? Because sometimes kids get scrapes, scratches, and need ice, so they come to us, right? So I'm teaching, boom, boom, I take the hat off. I got to put on the hat of a medic, go bandage them up, give them some ice. Now, I'm a counselor. So that's what I mean when I say multiple hats. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing is wrong with that. I really enjoy my job. I really enjoy, getting to know my students and, just being able to be there for them. So when I talk about this, the topic of multiple hats, it's not to say that it's an issue or it's a problem or I don't enjoy doing it. That's not the case. I love it. All right. So multiple hats. All right. What does it look like as a husband, though? So my question for you guys out there in TV land, what does wearing multiple hats as a husband look like to you? All right, so leave it in the comment section and maybe we can revisit it, okay? So speaking on behalf of me, Myron Harris, because that's the only person I can talk about, right? Wearing multiple hats looks like being a husband, being a father, also being a provider, and then I'm going to sprinkle a little extra on the top, being a coach, right? Because, as a husband, we do more than just things within the house. We also, we expand ourselves and we throw on a hat from outside, doing things like coaching. Just last week, I threw on a mechanic hat trying to change my oil in my car, right? So the topic is what does it look like to wear multiple hats, or just multiple hats is the topic, and what does that look like to you? All right. So once again, as for me, wearing multiple hats looks like being a husband, being a father, being a provider, and then my little extra sprinkle on top is being a coach. All right, so let's just jump into the first one. So being a husband, I was just sitting there thinking, what does that look like, right? Wearing the hat of a husband to me. So some of the things that I pondered on was being a protector, right? Being a husband, I have been blessed with my wife. I've been blessed with our sons. So my goal is to make sure that I protect them, right? Not only am I protecting this house, we must protect this house, right? Not only am I protecting this house, but I'm also protecting my wife, right? I'm protecting her mind, I'm protecting her body, I'm protecting her soul, and I'm also protecting the love that is given off by her, and also the love that I give to her, right? So, I just want to make sure that she is cared for, and that she feels that she feels as if I am protecting her, because not only is it something that I do, but it's also something that she needs to feel. She needs to feel protected, right? My sons need to feel that. Okay, so as a husband, my first thing that comes to my mind, all right, I'm asking you, all right, too. The first thing that comes to my mind is that I am a protector, right, for my family. Okay, all right. So my next one is, what is the next hat that I put on? Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not saying that these are the only 3 or 4 hats that you might wear. These are my hats that I'm talking about, and I want you to express your hats in the comment section, right? So the next hat that I put on after just, oh, you know what? I don't even take these hats off. How about that? I got my husband hat on, then I go ahead and throw my father hat on top of it, right? So the next hat that I put on is the hat of a father, right? That hat being on, as I stated earlier, I'm being a protector. I'm protecting my sons. I'm also protecting their soul as well, right? So I do that. I make sure that we are raising them in a loving and in a loving environment, right? And not only do they know that it's loving, they have to be able to feel that it's a loving environment. I protect them also by making sure that I'm teaching them, things that they might not learn in school. We're teaching them life lessons, and we do that through experiences, right? Making sure that they know what it looks like to fish. They know how to fish. They know how to cut grass. They know how to cook, right? So I'm protecting them. I'm protecting not only their childhood, but I'm also preparing to protect their manhood. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Preparing to protect their manhood, all right, as they grow up. Ah, that's a good one. All right, so let's move on to the next hat that I'm going to throw on, okay? All right, so the third hat that I'm putting on is the hat of a provider, right? That's kind of self-explanatory. All of them seem kind of self-explanatory, but we can still talk a little bit more about them, all right? So just talking about the hat of a provider, right? And this is good because the first thing that came to my mind, all right, I want you to tell me the first thing that came to your mind when you heard the word provider. But the first thing that came to mind was financially, right? The role of a provider is to make sure that my family is secure. Okay, and I do that, of course, by working. As I stated earlier, I'm a teacher, so I do that by working, right? All right, so my goal is to make sure that I'm providing for my family financially. Okay, but then I was thinking, I was like, what else does that look like as a provider? I'm also making sure that I'm providing my wife and my sons with wise counsel. Okay, providing for their spirit man, right? I'm making sure that I'm in tune with God, so that way when it's time for me to pass something on to them, and also even just to pray for them, that I'm able to provide for them in the spiritual sense, right? Make sure that that they can feel that. Yeah, I love the fact that one thing I ask my students is, what things look like, right? So what does it look like to be able to provide? What does it look like to be able to protect? All right, what does it look like? Okay, so I want to be able to provide and protect. Cool. My fourth and final hat that I'm putting on top. So I'm looking crazy right now. If you can visualize it, stick with me. I got that husband hat on. I got that father hat on. And I got that provider hat on. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take that coach's hat, turn it back with the snap back, snap, put it on, and that's that coaching hat, right? So the dope thing about coaching, man, that's just something for me. That's kind of like my thing that I like to do for myself, right? My wife, she loves the fact that I coach. I love coaching, so she understands and she accepts it, and I'm really grateful of that, because it's for me. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a provider, but then I'm a coach for me, right? It's for my well-being, for my self-awareness, right? And the dope thing about it is, my son sees it, my wife sees it. So it's not just like I'm just out here, and they see the joy that it brings to me, and that also gives them joy. So being a coach is for me. So right, I mean, so those are some of the things that I thought about when I thought of the topic of wearing multiple hats. What does it look like to wear multiple hats in your household? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you handle wearing multiple hats? Before I go, I also want to present the question with how do you handle the I don't want to say burdens, because it's not a burden, but how do you handle wearing multiple hats? Because it can be a burden. It can sometimes be stressful, right? But the dope thing about it is the Bible said God will not put more on you than you can bear. So if you are wearing these multiple hats, it's because that's what the Lord has laid out before you or set out before you. So I believe 100% that as you put those hats on, as you learn those new skills, and as you gain those new roles, that is something that is going to make you a better you, right? And I don't doubt that 100% that as you go through this, God is going to see you through it. Right? So as you go through it, God will see you through it, okay? So stay encouraged, keep those multiple hats on, keep doing you, and go into the comment section and let us know what wearing multiple hats look like in your household, or just what does it look like to you, all right? So before I close, make sure you smash that like button, hit that share button, and click that notification bell, so that way you'll know when we drop new content, and you'll be the first one to know, which is the most important thing. All right. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Check out the website. We got some dope things up there, including merchandise. We got some good information for you, and we also have some sponsorship package. Right, you want to become a sponsor for Xpressions? We would love to bring you on to the team, to the family. Where you're already a family if you watch this video, but if you want to be a sponsor, we would appreciate it. All right. So before I let you go, I want you guys to take a moment to sit here and listen to a few words from my sponsor. All right, be blessed, people. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Welcome. Thank you for watching Beyond Xpressions. Myron out.
Xpressions LLC is sponsored by Nails to Love by Patrice, located in Morrisville, North Carolina, inside of Forever Nails and Spa. Make sure to follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. Book your appointment today, 980-939-9900.